Today's March 21st. Today's quote is entitled, "Our real business is chanting." And I think you're going to like this, and I don't know if you've heard this before. It's a very interesting point. After a GBC meeting, when Prabhupada reviewed the resolutions, he asked, quote, "But did you discuss how to improve the chanting of Hare Krishna?" Unquote. "We may have many important things to do, but the real management is to manage to chant good rounds." So, a little context here. When Prabhupada was with us after the GBC meeting, before it was finished, they would bring the resolutions to Prabhupada and he would look over them and approve them or question them or disapprove. So one year they brought the resolutions and he didn't see any resolutions that had anything to do with improving one's sadhana, improving one's chanting. So he made this comment. It's like so many resolutions, but did you discuss how to improve chanting? So Prabhupada felt that even though you're discussing so many practical matters, still you need to discuss spiritual matters because chanting is the essence of our whole philosophy. And we can't neglect this, which of course is a tendency as conditioned souls we have. So I think the story is wonderful. And Prabhupada's looking at the management of this huge movement, but he's looking at this point. The chanting has to improve, the sadhana has to improve, the purity has to improve. Didn't you discuss any of that? Wasn't that on the agenda? How to uplift the whole movement spiritually? Why didn't you discuss that? Why only practical affairs? So we can ask ourselves that question. I'm not saying this as a criticism of the GBC. I'm just making a point of how Prabhupada is thinking and how we can translate that into our own lives. Just like the GBC, we have to manage our lives. We have so many things to deal with. And in all that management of our to-do list, is on our to-do list how to improve our chanting. If it isn't, it should be. So that's the point Prabhupada's making. Don't get so caught up in doing things, improving things, making things happen without focusing also on improving your spiritual life, because then that will be a disaster. So yes, we have to improve things externally, materially. And if we do it for Krishna, it's not material, it's spiritual. But we also have to take care of the internal world. So we shouldn't neglect the external for the internal. And you probably realize the external gets better when the internal gets better. So I like this story. I think it's very instructive, especially if you're a manager or a leader within our organization. You can think about this. Whenever you're planning and managing, always think about how we can increase and improve the hearing and chanting. That has to be part of the management. That's the point. That's the real management. Isn't it? That's the real management is how to facilitate hearing and chanting.